Get Smart once had all of America laughing, but 60 years later, the story behind its cast is nothing short of shocking. From the quiet passing of Don Adams to the mysterious fade of Barbara Feldon from the spotlight. Where did they go, and what really happened? Let's find out. Don Adams as Maxwell Smart. Don Adams was born on April 13, 1923, in New York City, New York. When he was 42 years old, he played Maxwell Smart in Get Smart, portraying a clumsy yet lovable secret agent who never failed to make audiences laugh with his absurd antics and irresistibly funny one-liners. The role of Agent 86 was a turning point, catapulting him to fame with his unique comedic style, from using a shoe phone to pulling off hilariously ridiculous plans that somehow worked. But behind the laughter on screen, Don's personal life was far more turbulent. He married 3 times, first to Adelaide Adams, which ended quickly, then to Dorothy Smith, and finally Judy Luciano, all ending in divorce. He had 3 children.
I mean on his hands or neck.
He was wearing a scarf and gloves.
Did you notice anything about him at all?
Later in life, he struggled with declining health due to a lung infection, and although he had earned millions from Get Smart, he faced financial trouble as his career slowed.
This may run into a little overtime, Chief.
Makes you realize you...
To cope with loneliness, Don often told jokes to friends, a way to mask the emptiness inside. He passed away on September 25th, 2005, at the age of 82 in Los Angeles, California.
The plan is Y14. Let's go.
Barbara Feldon as Agent 99. Barbara Feldon was born on March 12, 1933 in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. When she was 32 years old, she took on the role of Agent 99 in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, portraying a smart, elegant female agent who constantly saved Maxwell Smart from one ridiculous situation after another with calm wit and intelligence. The role not only highlighted her beauty but also showed off a perfect blend of humor and strength, turning her into an icon of the 1960s. However, her off-screen life told a different story. She married twice, first to Lucienne Verdu Feldon, which ended in divorce after a few years,
I thought you'd want to get right out to Professor Dante's laboratory at Cravehaven.
and later to Kenneth Macmillan, which also ended in separation, leaving her with the quiet sorrow of not having children. To cope, Barbara turned to writing and a reclusive lifestyle, finding peace in the later years of her life. As of 2025, at age 91, she is still living quietly among loved ones.
What was it?
Edward Platt as the Chief. Edward Platt was born on February 14, 1916, in Staten Island, New York. When he was 49 years old, he played the Chief, the calm and composed leader of control who handled Maxwell Smart's chaos with a straight face and quiet humor. The role earned him admiration as a strict yet warm fatherly figure, a steady anchor amidst the madness. But Edward's real life was clouded in darkness. He married Barbara Babcock, but their marriage ended under the strain of irreconcilable pressures, leaving him isolated.
We'll register 99, and we'll sneak her out of the hotel, making sure...
He struggled with severe depression, a silent battle that haunted him even as his career was on the rise.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, everybody knows radio's dead, Chief.
Edward passed away on March 19, 1974, at the age of 58 in Santa Monica, California, by suicide, leaving behind sorrow for a talent consumed by inner darkness. Victor French as Agent 44. Victor French was born on December 4, 1934, in Santa Barbara, California. When he was 31 years old, he played Agent 44 in Get Smart, bringing to life a clumsy yet endearing agent who often found himself in hilariously failed spy missions. Though a minor role, his character added charm and diversity to the cast, showcasing Victor's warm, relatable energy. Off-screen, however, his life was far from cheerful. He married twice, both ending in divorce, and although he had 2 children, he couldn't maintain family happiness due to his unstable career. Battling lung cancer in his later years, Victor found solace in directing, a passion that helped him momentarily escape the pain. He passed away on June 15, 1989, at the age of 54 in Los Angeles, California. Dick Gautier as Haimey the Robot. Dick Gautier was born on October 30, 1931, in Culver City, California. When he was 35 years old, he played Haimey the Robot in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a reprogrammed robot working for control, delivering laughs with his overly literal interpretations and innocent demeanor. The role stood out for its unique mix of humor and surprising humanity, leaving a lasting impression on viewers. But beyond the spotlight, Dick's life was full of ups and downs. He married 3 times, all ending in heartbreak. While dealing with family troubles, his career stalled after Get Smart, and he turned to voice acting and painting, finding some comfort in creative work.
No, it's a nice way to meet some intelligent machines.
Still, these pursuits couldn't protect him from the effects of dementia in old age. Dick passed away on January 13, 2017, at the age of 85 in Arcadia, California. Don Rickles as Sid Crim. Don Rickles was born on May 8, 1926, in Queens, New York. When he was 42 years old, he appeared as Sid Crim in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, bringing his signature sharp-tongued humor to a memorable role that had audiences in stitches with his lightning-fast lines. But behind the laughs he gave the world, Don's personal life carried a darker tone. He shared a happy marriage with Barbara Sklar, but the death of their son Larry in 2011 from respiratory failure plunged him into deep depression.
But you're a hell of a musician. Good luck to you.
Later, Don developed kidney failure and mobility issues in his old age, gradually stepping away from the spotlight.
Shut the crowd again!
No, it's a nice...
He passed away on April 6, 2017, at the age of 90, in Beverly Hills, California. Stacy Keech Sr. as Carlson. Stacy Keech Sr. was born on May 29, 1914, in Chicago, Illinois. When he was 52 years old, he played Carlson in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a quirky control scientist known for inventing bizarre gadgets to assist agents, adding a unique touch of eccentric humor with his wildly creative madness. But behind the role, Stacy's personal life was filled with challenges. He married twice, both ending in turmoil, the first in a bitter divorce, the second strained by emotional distance. He battled severe alcoholism, which led to a DUI that tarnished his public image, and his health declined due to congestive heart failure. During hard times, he often found comfort in watching old films.
My dad always and my mom kept saying, "You wear your hairpiece," or, you know.
Regardless of the struggles, Stacy passed away on February 13, 2003, at the age of 88 in Burbank, California. King Moody as Starker. King Moody was born on December 6, 1929, in New York City, New York. When he was 37 years old, he played Starker in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a bumbling chaos henchman whose constant failures delivered laughs and became a key part of the control versus chaos contrast. But King's life was far from cheerful. He married twice, both ending in divorce, the first brief, the second wrecked by alcohol and debt. Later, he battled depression and alcoholism, which dragged down both his career and his health.
Today, why not take in a good gas station? Citgo.
When things worsened, King withdrew from others, living in isolation. He passed away on February 7, 2001, at the age of 71, in Los Angeles, California, due to complications from alcohol. Milton Selzer as Parker. Milton Selzer was born on October 25, 1918, in Lowell, Massachusetts. When he was 47 years old, he played Parker, a recurring character known for his silly plans and awkward charm, adding spontaneous humor to the show. Away from the screen, Milton's life was quietly filled with sadness. He married twice, both ending in divorce, and the second marriage especially left him withdrawn and insecure around his family. In later years, he developed lung problems that led to increasing isolation. As his health declined, Milton found solace in reading books to escape the loneliness. He passed away on October 21, 2006, at the age of 87, in Santa Monica, California, due to health complications. Karen Arthur, as Agent 38. Karen Arthur was born on August 24, 1941, in Omaha, Nebraska. When she was 26 years old, she played Agent 38 in the series, a smart, quick-thinking female agent who handled problems with calm confidence and decisiveness, bringing a refreshing presence to the male-dominated cast. But unlike the composed character she played, Karen's personal life was filled with turbulence. She married young, but divorced early, left to raise her child alone under the pressure of a demanding career.
Well, what's your name?
E pluribus unum.
Wise guy.
Often caught between the stress of family and work, Karen eventually turned to directing, finding joy in storytelling behind the camera.
My name is Charlie Watkins, Control West.
Oh, well, I'm Maxwell.
As of 2025, at age 83, she lives with her loved ones in Los Angeles, California. Robert Carvellis as Larabe. Robert Carvellis was born on April 3, 1921, in New York City, New York. When he was 44 years old, he played Larabe in Get Smart, the loyal but dim-witted assistant to the chief, known for his slow thinking and comical blunders alongside Maxwell Smart. Though a minor character, his role was a vital part of the show's humor. Off-screen, Robert led a quiet life filled with hardship. He married once, but divorced after many years, and as he aged, his health slowly declined, leading him to step away from the entertainment industry. During his time at home, Robert often played chess to keep his mind active. He passed away on December 5, 1991, at the age of 70 in Los Angeles, California, of natural causes. Brian OBrien as Hodkins. Brian OBrien was born on February 6, 1931, in Plattsburgh, New York. When he was 34 years old, he played Hodkins in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970. The chief's reliable assistant, who often flew under the radar, but always got the job done with quiet dedication, offering a soft, understated humor to the show. Much like the character he played, Brian's personal life was far from smooth. He married twice, both ending in divorce, leaving him with the sorrow of a broken family. Later in life, he faced declining health, and during this time, Brian often rewatched old films for comfort. He passed away on December 4, 2009, at the age of 78 in Pacifica, California. William Shallert as Admiral Hargrade. William Shallert was born on July 6, 1922, in Los Angeles, California. When he was 45 years old, he played Admiral Hargrade in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a high-ranking control officer whose calm, strategic demeanor brought a dignified kind of humor to the show's chaos. Behind that composed presence, however, William's personal life was filled with challenges. He was married to Mary Shallert for decades, but the relationship grew tense and distant, leaving him emotionally drained.
I came into the office and I picked up the script and I looked at it.
Not long after the show ended, he faced financial trouble due to unemployment. In solitude, William found peace in listening to classical music.
That's just the way he is. And then eventually he warmed up to me and it was all fine.
He passed away on May 8, 2016, at the age of 93, in Pacific Palisades, California, from natural causes. Gordon Jump as Hobson. Gordon Jump was born on April 1, 1932, in Dayton, Ohio. When he was 34 years old, he appeared as Hobson in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a bumbling yet endearing control agent whose silly mistakes and misplaced enthusiasm brought a lighthearted energy to every scene he was in. Though the role was small, it showcased his natural comedic talent. Yet Gordon's life had its own shadows. He went through a painful divorce, and his later relationships were strained, leaving him with lingering sadness. In his later years, he developed pulmonary fibrosis, which made breathing increasingly difficult. Under growing pressure, he struggled with depression, eventually turning to charity work to feel a sense of purpose. He died on September 22, 2003, at the age of 71 in Los Angeles, California, from lung disease. Leonard Strong as the Claw. Leonard Strong was born on August 12, 1908, in Salt Lake City, Utah. When he was 57 years old, he played the Claw in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a menacing chaos agent with a trademark fake hand, bringing a mix of wickedness and absurdity to the screen. The role stood out as one of the show's most memorable villains, highlighting his gift for playing over-the-top characters. Off-screen, Leonard's life was far less colorful. He endured a painful divorce that left him deeply lonely. In his final years, he battled illness and often took long walks in search of peace.
Like the Keres ring, how he must be eliminated.
You're wasting your time.
He passed away on January 23, 1980, at the age of 71, in Glendale, California, from health complications. H.M. Wynant as Frank Valentine. H.M. Wynant was born on February 12, 1927, in Detroit, Michigan. When he was 40 years old, he portrayed Frank Valentine in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a suave and calculating agent who brought charm and wit to the show's spy schemes, leaving a lasting impression despite his brief appearances. Behind the scenes, H.M.'s personal life was far from smooth. He was married twice. His first marriage ended bitterly, leaving him estranged from his children, and his second collapsed under the weight of financial troubles and infidelity.
That's all I remember about it.
What was the set?
In later life, he developed dementia, which led to a decline in his career, prompting him to return to theater to continue his passion.
Sweden, where he was holding a master class.
As of 2025, at the age of 98, he lives in a care facility in California, enjoying a quieter phase of life. Victor Sen-Young as Abe Fuyong. Victor Sen-Young was born on October 18, 1915, in San Francisco, California. When he was 53 years old, he played Abe Fuyong in Get Smart, 1965 to 1970, a clever and quick-witted character who often saved the day with his resourcefulness, adding a subtle humor to the series. But unlike his nimble on-screen persona, Victor's real life was filled with hardship. He had a short-lived marriage that ended in divorce, and he spent most of his life alone, with no children.
For your bar mitzvah.
As his career failed to gain momentum, financial struggles forced him to work as a chef to make ends meet.
But the letter, sir, was written on the day of the late Mr. Hammond's death.
He died on November 1, 1980, at the age of 65 in North Hollywood, California, from carbon monoxide poisoning. A tragic end for someone who had long fought to overcome adversity. A lot has changed in 60 years, but Get Smart still holds a special place in TV history. Which cast member surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic TV throwbacks. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye.